I am your success coach, Dr. Gaurav Sethia. The Management Sutra for today. All progress takes place outside the comfort zone. Yes, until and unless you will come out of your comfort zone, you cannot achieve anything. Success is fundamental to hard efforts. जब तक आप अपने घरोंदे से बाहर नहीं निकलेंगे और खुले आसमान में उड़ान भरने के लिए तैयार नहीं होंगे, तब तक सक्सेस नहीं मिल सकता. आपको अपने आराम के जोन से बाहर निकलना होगा, कंफर्ट जोन से बाहर निकलना होगा. मैं ये कर सकता हूँ सिर्फ और वही करूँगा, सिर्फ यही इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है. मुझे क्या करने की ज़रूरत है, मुझे वो करना होगा, तभी मुझे सक्सेस मिलेगा. सो let's begin the topic for today. Type of numbers. This number is very important. This concept is very important in terms of any MBA or law entrance exam. This is a basic topic, the fundamental topic, which will start building your concepts for competitive entrance exams. So let us look what are different kinds of numbers. How can we classify numbers into different kinds? First basic category of numbers, that is natural numbers. What are natural numbers? So natural numbers can be referred to as counting numbers. What are counting numbers? 1, 2, 3, up to infinity. Counting numbers begin from 1 and continue up to infinity. Now, next kind of number is whole numbers. What are whole numbers? Whole numbers, they start from 0 and thereafter it includes all the counting numbers. First whole number is 0, 1, 2, up to infinity. That means that the difference between whole numbers and natural numbers is whole numbers include 0 and all natural numbers. That is, we can say that all natural numbers are whole numbers, but all whole numbers are not natural numbers. Whole numbers means 0 and all other natural numbers. Next category of numbers is integers. What exactly are integers? We are often confused with term integers. To make it more clear to you, integers, they are of 3 kinds. That is neutral, positive, negative. Neutral integer is 0, positive are 1, 2, 3, up to infinity. Negative are -1, -2, -3, up to -infinity. Now here a question arises. If I ask you minus 2.25, whether it is a positive integer or a negative integer, many of you might reply, it's a negative integer. You're wrong. You're not correct. It is not at all an integer. Minus 2.25 is not an integer. Plus 1.5 is not an integer. Plus 2.25, this is not an integer. Integers are always complete numbers. They are not in fractions. They are not in decimals. Integers are complete numbers. The next integer after minus 2 will be minus 3, then minus 4, no number in between. First positive integer is 1, next 2, means I can say positive integers are natural numbers. Negative integers are, if we give negative sign to natural numbers, they become negative integers, and neutral integer is 0. Now, what are prime numbers? What are prime numbers? बचपन में सुना हुआ है ये टॉपिक नाम, लेकिन एकदम से रिकॉल नहीं कर पाते. When I ask many of my students, tell me first 5 prime numbers, they are often confused. What are first 5 prime numbers? So if I talk to you about prime numbers, the basic definition of prime numbers is वह नंबर जो किसी और नंबर से डिवाइड नहीं होते हैं, नंबर जो किसी और से डिवाइड नहीं होते हैं. बट इसकी ट्रू डेफिनेशन है all the numbers which are divisible either by 1 or itself. That is, prime numbers have exactly 2 factors. Prime numbers have exactly 2 factors. What are the 2 factors? 1 and the number itself. Prime number has necessarily 2 factors. The 2 factors are 1 and the number itself. 1 and the number x. Exactly 2, not more than 2, not less than 2. Hence, which is the first prime number? The first prime number is 2. पहला prime number कौन सा है? 2. Next prime number is 3. Next is 5. Next is 7. Next is 11, and so on. Here many of you will wonder, why haven't I included 1 in the prime numbers? Because 1 is not a prime number. 1 prime number नहीं है. Prime number की basic definition है, it has only 2 factors. It has only 2 factors. 1 and the number itself. और 1 के 2 फैक्टर कौन से हैं यार? 1 सिर्फ 1 से ही डिवाइड होता है और दूसरा नंबर नहीं है. हाँ, 2 के फैक्टर्स की बात करूंगा तो 1 और 2. 2 1 से भी डिवाइड होगा, 2 से भी डिवाइड होगा. 3 1 से भी डिवाइड होगा, 3 से भी डिवाइड होगा. 11 1 से भी डिवाइड होगा, 11 से भी डिवाइड होगा. मतलब 1 एंड द नंबर इटसेल्फ. इसीलिए प्राइम नंबर्स स्टार्ट फ्रॉम 2. एंड माइंड इट, इफ आई आस्क यू 1 से लेके 100 तक कितने इवन प्राइम नंबर्स हैं, तो इवन और ऑड नंबर्स तो आपको पता है. इवन नंबर जो 2 से डिवाइड हो जाते हैं, ऑड नंबर्स जो 2 से डिवाइड नहीं होते. तो इफ आई लुक ओवर दिस कंसेप्ट, 1 से 100 के बीच में कितने इवन प्राइम नंबर्स हैं, तो द आंसर इज यूनिवर्सली there is only 1 even prime number. 1 से 100, 1 से 1000, 1 से infinity के बीच में एक ही प्राइम नंबर है जो इवन है, एंड दैट प्राइम नंबर इज 2. दैट प्राइम नंबर इज 2. Universally, only 1 even prime number is there, and this even prime number is 2. Clear? Now, what are composite numbers? Now the other term is composite numbers. So what are composite numbers? Composite numbers are numbers having 3 or more than 3 factors. कम से कम 3 नंबर्स से डिवाइड होता हो, 1 से, खुद से, और कम से कम एक और दूसरा फैक्टर. These are known as composite numbers. So the numbers which are divisible by other numbers, they are known as composite numbers. So first composite number is 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, and so on. If I talk about factors of number 6, तो 6 किन किन नंबर्स से डिवाइड होता है? 1 से डिवाइड होता है, 2 से डिवाइड होता है, 3 से डिवाइड होता है और 6 से डिवाइड होता है. मतलब 3 से ज्यादा फैक्टर्स हो गए ना, 3 या 3 से ज्यादा. Hence it is known as a composite number. Now what are coprime numbers? What are coprime numbers? Set of all those numbers which don't have any number in common, which don't have any common factor. They are known as composite coprime numbers. Means the SCF is 1. The SCF is 1. If I talk about two numbers, 10 and 21. If I talk about number 10 and 21. If I talk about number 10 and 21, hence neither 10 is a prime number, neither 21 is a prime number, but they don't have any common factor. They don't have any common factor. Hence they are known as coprime numbers. If I talk about 3 and 10, they don't have any common factor. Hence they are called as coprime numbers. Talking about decimals. What are decimals? We all know that decimals are the numbers like 1.45, etc., etc., etc. Now decimal basically are of two kinds, that is terminating decimals and non-terminating decimals. Terminating decimals, रुक गया ना आकर के, कितना भी लंबा जाए लेकिन एक एंडिंग हो सकता है 1.25 हो, 1.2 हो, 1 point dash 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 हो, लेकिन रुक गया. This is known as terminating number. Non-terminating decimal, जो आगे तक जाता जाए, जिसका कोई एंडिंग ना हो, कहीं पे भी जाकर ना रुके, means it continues up to infinity. This type of decimals are known as non-terminating decimals. Now non-terminating decimals, they are of two types, recurring and non-recurring. What are recurring decimals? If I talk about 1.232323, this is a recurring decimal. It is represented as 1.23 bar. This bar represents recurring numbers. This bar represents recurrence of the number. And non-recurring, non-terminating numbers means a kind of this numbers. This number, this is non-terminating, non-recurring, which neither repeats a pattern nor ends nor terminates. Recurring decimals have a repeating pattern. It continues up to infinity but have a repeating pattern. Hence, they are called as recurring numbers. Now again, recurring numbers, they are of two kinds. Pure recurring like this, and mixed recurring numbers like 1.234, 34, 34, 34, and so on. Here we can see that the number 2, that is not repeating, and further all other numbers are repeating. That is 1.234 bar. This kind of numbers are known as mixed recurring numbers. Now again, I have a question for you. If say I have three numbers I have three numbers representing three different kinds of decimals. I have three numbers representing three different kinds of decimals. One is 0.314, 0.314 bar, and 0.314 bar. That is, only 1 4 is repeating in this kind of numbers. Then how we will convert it into a fraction? How we can convert it into a fraction? We very simply know that to convert it into a fraction, 314 divided by 1000. डेसिमल के बाद जितने डिजिट्स है उतने जीरो लगा दो. ये तो हमें आता है. क्या इसको भी ऐसे ही कन्वर्ट करते हैं? नहीं, इसको सेम तरह से कन्वर्ट नहीं करते हैं. इसका कन्वर्जन का तरीका है कि बार हटाने के लिए डेसिमल हटाओ और जितने डेसिमल के बाद डिजिट्स हैं उतने 9 लगा दो, उतने 9 लगा दो. या एक और तरीका है कि डिनोमिनेटर में जैसे यहां पर 1000 लिखा था ना, -1 कर दो. वन एंड द सेम थिंग. द बेटर वे इज जितनी डेसिमल रेकरिंग डिजिट्स हैं उतने 9 लगा दो. अब तीसरा पैटर्न 0.314 बार. 0.314 बार इसको मैं कैसे कन्वर्ट करूंगा? 0.314 बार. ना मिक्स्ड है, ना प्योर है, ना रेकरिंग है पूरी तरह से. अब इसको किस तरह से कन्वर्ट करेंगे? तो इसके लिए एक सॉल्यूशन का पैटर्न है. वी विल फॉलो दिस पैटर्न. (0.314 बार. First write 314. 314 लिख दिए न्यूमरेटर में, है ना. माइनस मेरा नॉन रेकरिंग पार्ट क्या था? 3. नॉन रेकरिंग पार्ट 3 था ना, मतलब जिसके ऊपर छत नहीं है वो वाले पार्ट को हटा दो. तो न्यूमरेटर विल बिकम 314 minus 3. एंड व्हाट अबाउट डिनोमिनेटर? तो यहां पर कितनी रेकरिंग डिजिट्स हैं? 2. तो 2 9 लगा दो, 2 9 लगा दो. और कितने नॉन रेकरिंग डिजिट्स हैं? 1. तो 0 लगा दो. मतलब आंसर हो गया 311 डिवाइडेड बाय 990. ये पैटर्न कई बड़ी बड़ी कॉम्पिटिटिव एंट्रेंस एग्जाम में पूछा जाता है. I hope this is pretty clear to you. Let me repeat again this kind of pattern. If I have 0.314, I will write it as 314 divided by 1000. If I have 0.314 bar, I will convert it as 314 divided by 999. And if I have 0.314 bar, that is only 1/4 is recurring, 3 is non-recurring. Then first I will write 314. I will deduct the non-repeating part from it, that is 314 minus 3. Hence numerator becomes 311. And denominator, first I will put number of 9s equal to number of recurring digits. Like here, 2 digits are recurring, 1 and 4, therefore 99. And put the zeros equivalent to the number of non-recurring digits. That is, only one non-recurring digit is there, therefore it is 0. I hope this concept is pretty clear to you. Now, talking about what are complex numbers. What are complex numbers? what are complex numbers? So my question is, can you tell me what is square root of minus 4? What is square root of minus 4? Many of you will answer, square root of minus 4 is minus 2. No, you're wrong. 2? Perfectly wrong. What is square root of minus 4? So, these questions can be solved through the concept of imaginary numbers. If I say square root of minus 4, it will be written as square root of 4 into minus 1. That is equal to 2 under root of minus 1. This under root of minus 1, this is a imaginary number. This under root of minus 1, this is a imaginary number represented by a sign I, often called as iota. Therefore, the answer will be 2i. Answer is 2i. This I is an imaginary number which represents under root of minus 1. Now the other concept is, what are rational numbers and what are irrational numbers? If I talk about rational numbers, it includes all counting numbers, whole numbers, integers, all types of fractions in the form of p upon q. That is, all numbers that have a definite solution that can be represented as p by q. 1 by 2, yes, it is a rational number. 1, yes, it is a rational number. Minus 1, yes, it is a rational number. Then what are irrational numbers? What are irrational numbers? So, any number which is not a rational number is an irrational number, which does not have a definite solution, which cannot be perfectly represented in the form of p upon q. Say square root of 2, yes, it is an irrational number. Square root of 2, this is an irrational number. Now you can say that square of 2 has a value. Yes, but that is not an exact value. That is an indefinite value. That does not terminate. Root 3, yes, it is an irrational number. But if I say about root 9, no, it is not a irrational number. This is a rational number because root 9 has a value 3, right? Many of the numbers, even having a decimal value of their square root, they are rational numbers. They are not irrational numbers. I hope I am pretty clear. Root 2, root 3, these numbers are irrational numbers. Pi, this is an irrational number. You will again say pi has a value 3.14. Is it an irrational number? No. That is not the definite value of pi. That is the value used only for calculation purposes. It has a value 22 by 7. It is an irrational number? No, this is also not a perfect value. These values are used only for calculation purposes. In fact, they are non-terminating decimal values. So non-terminating decimals, they are irrational numbers. Non-terminating, non-recurring decimals, they are irrational numbers. Recurring decimals, non-terminating and recurring decimals, they are rational numbers. Because as I told you, they can be converted into a fraction putting 9 in denominator. As I told you earlier in the concept of denominators. So, if I talk about decimals as rational or irrational numbers, only non-terminating, non-recurring decimals, they are irrational numbers. All other kind of decimals, they are irrational numbers. Thanks a lot. If you have any queries, you can call us at 90395 27254 or you can drop a WhatsApp to us At this number, we will certainly reply to your queries. Wish you a very happy learning. All the best.